Well, the update weekend is over, and today is the day where I like to go through all the balance changes and stuff that was actually changed in the update itself. And there has been a few changes to one of the most hated vehicles or even a Game Pass in War Tycoon. The Boxer CRV has actually gotten itself a huge change, which many of us have asked for. If I'll be completely honest, the way that they actually changed it isn't as interesting and as good as everybody would want it. But anyway, I'm gonna get into it and show you guys the changes that were actually made to the Boxer. Alrighty, so here we are in our favorite update log. The changes are as follows: added sales tab for trading hub, which most people don't really use the trading hub, so I won't go through that. Added trading stand highlight effect. Plane propellers can now break off, which is probably going to make it a lot more fun to actually play with the planes. And then lastly, added health bar to RC car and buffed Boxer CRV health. And now you might wonder, how big of a buff in health was this actually made? Well, let's actually check out the wiki. Alrighty, so here we have ourselves the Boxer CRV. Let's take a look. The health is currently standing at 1200 health. And before the actual buff, it used to be exactly 100 health. So that 200 health buff is actually going to be huge. So anyhow, I'm gonna jump right into the game and show you guys and explain you guys a few strategies which you could actually try out with the Boxer, because I believe it to actually be a huge change and actually worth it now. Alrighty, so here we are in the game. Let's actually spawn the Boxer CRV, which I don't see any real changes that were made to the statistics over here, because the statistics were always 3 out of 3 for pretty much everything. So I do have a few ideas in which the Boxer could actually be used and actually be good now. So I'm gonna tell you guys a few strategies while just kind of roaming around in this whole entire private server. So one of the strats which I definitely have for you guys with the Boxer, you are now gonna be a lot more willing to actually take tank 1v1s. The reason being is because normally when you do actually get hit with a tank cannon if you're using the Boxer, but now you don't really take as much damage and you can actually afford to tank the machine gun hits, which normally would be able to actually finish you off. Okay, that's a weird way of falling and getting back up. Another one of the strategies which I have for you guys in order to actually be able to destroy that stuff like tanks or even other ground vehicles is to kind of try to hide around hills and etc. And for that being, you should probably smoke in case something like a JOTV and Abrams X is on the way, and then try to kind of go behind them and always face the opposite way to where their cannon is turning. So like if the cannon is turning this way, then you guys should be going the other way, of course. So then their cannon would just basically not be able to reach you. And for actually killing tanks and etc., I suggest you guys to be using the second machine gun instead of the main gun, because the main gun is probably only good for killing stuff like players on the ground. But other than that, for killing vehicles or even planes and etc., I suggest you guys to really be taking advantage of the smoke in order to also destroy the missiles. But other than that, the Boxer CRV, I believe this actually be a good change, and it might actually be huge. It might really change the meta, so we're really gonna have to see in the future, though I did expect War Tycoon to actually be making the Boxer kind of replaced, but we didn't really get much more than just a health buff. But I think this health buff is actually positive, so for me, this buff is definitely getting a good 10 out of 10.